Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your motherfucking boy. I ain't gotta say no names, right? All right. Let me tell y'all about what today's topic is about. We are talking about vulnerability, y'all. Oh my God, I got inspired by a conversation I had over the weekend. So y'all come on in here and let's banter about vulnerability. With the educated opinion on topics of all varieties. This your boy Bubba, and you already know what I'm about to say, right? You are listening to Bubba's Banter. Yo, what's good, y'all? This your motherfucking boy. I ain't gotta say no names, right? But I am anyway. It's your boy Bubba, and you are watching and also listening to Bubba's Banter. I hope you guys are living well, feeling well. I am doing good. Before you do anything, make sure you hit that subscribe button, please. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, please. Also, follow me on my social medias, which is the Bubba's Banter podcast, The Real Doc Dre, and follow my Facebook page, which is, you already know, Bubba's Banter. Also, follow me on my streaming platforms. Subscribe there: iHeartRadio, Spotify, um, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. I'm on a lot of them. If you click the link tree in the description, you will find out where I'm streaming at on all multiple platforms. So you already know what I'm about to say, right? I say that almost every show. Go get those bearskin underwear, baby. Go get them. They are designed with the big boy in mind. If you use my promo code Bubba, you will get 15% off in your checkout order. Okay. Oh, okay. I had to do a little Cardi C in there. Um, sorry, I'm off for a burp and shit. I just was drinking a Poppy. I love this shit. This is not a paid advertisement. But Poppy is like, I'm so addicted to these goddamn things. I buy so many of these. They're so good. Um, But yeah, oh my God, I'm feeling good this week. I just want to touch base with you guys. I had a good weekend. It's really fucking hot today. It was like 101 or something. And Portland don't always get hot like that. So summer here is now, because y'all know earlier and earlier in some of my episodes, I was like, I was like, it ain't summer. We got fake summer right now, but now we got summer. It's like 90 almost every day. We had a whole heat wave this week. Like, I'm recording my show right now at nighttime, just to let y'all know, because my voice. I don't know if y'all noticed, like during the day, like you can tell when I record my shows because I be like loud and shit. But like right now, it's like nighttime. So giving my little Easter eggs about how my show set up. But yeah, it's been hot as fuck. Like, and I'm gonna hurry up with this show because I got my AC off because I gotta make sure that the sound quality of my show is great. So, I got these little fucking ring lights beaming on me, so it's getting hot already, baby. And my nose gonna start leaking. I'm gonna start sweating. Y'all gonna see all the sweat around my face and shit. We not doing it, baby. But anyways, let's start the show. So today we are diving into the crucial topic of vulnerability. Vulnerability is the key to building meaningful connections, and I really want to talk about how challenging it can be too. So let's get off and well, let's not get off, but let's get ready. I don't know why I said get off. Let's get ready to talk about vulnerability today. So over the weekend, I was hanging out with a friend and we were talking about relationships, right? And when I post up questionnaires a lot on Instagram, I'm always getting questions about, oh, what happened to that meatball that you were dating, and or what happened to the really cute power lifter that you were dating, blah blah blah. This is that. What about what happened to him? And um, over the weekend, me and a friend were having a conversation about him, and you know, I personally feel like I got really really vulnerable with him. I feel like I got so vulnerable with him that I scared him, you know. Um and I feel, and some people would say it was clinginess, but I think there's like clinginess and vulnerability are two different things. People often mistake, vulnerability and clinginess, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But honestly, I feel that when you think about what vulnerability is, right? Vulnerability is, you know, you opening up to your partner and being honest with them. That's not overwhelming them, because at a certain time, vulnerability is supposed to develop, in a relationship. It fosters the relationship. It makes the relationship stronger, I think, at some point. Um, but I feel like there's times where you can overshare. There's times where you can do too much. You can put too much of your emotion out there. And that's when it can become like, oh, this motherfucker is clingy. When it's just like you're trying to like put yourself out there because you're trying to win this person, right? And I feel like he was already a fucked up. He's a fucking head case, anyways. Like straight up fucking head case guy. Um, I was in love with this dude at the beginning when I first met him. Like I felt a spark from the beginning, right? And sometimes I think that even when you see somebody new and you're talking to somebody new and you connect with them really quickly, like sometimes those emotions and feelings that you feel could be mixed feelings. Like maybe it was just we were like majorly sexually attracted to each other. Doesn't mean that we're supposed to be with each other. I could have just fucked him, but I felt like there was something real there when I first met him. Like when I first kissed him, fireworks popped off in my head. I was really into this guy, and he played me. He played me really hard, like really, really fucking hard. Um, I mean, even now, still like it's weird. Like I'm still not over it. Like I can honestly say that I'm not. I have not been. It's so weird because I end up seeing him coming through my job all the time. And it's just like, fuck, bro. Like, why do I see you so fucking much? Um, and then like I got my little ops who know him too, and they come back and tell me shit, which I need to like dead that because it kind of like is stopping me from getting over him and shit too. So yeah, I'm toxic, girl. I'm toxic. I'm toxic myself. Let's not get off the word the thing about vulnerability. Um, I think that vulnerability is something that is so important in relationships, though, and I feel that sometimes people don't really understand how important it is to be authentic with your person at all levels. And I think that um you know even just going back to the story with the dude I was dating, I don't want to get so graphic, but like I feel like you know there was moments where I particularly feel like I was overexposing myself, telling him certain things that I just feel like he shouldn't know, just so soon. So yeah, things were moving so quickly with us, like, and I think he was scared of that too. And you know, let's like when I when you okay, of course, vulnerability isn't always easy. It comes with its own sets of challenges and fears, right? And when you talk about things like rejection and those common obstacles, like you know, like overcoming like insecurities in your past, like those things, right? A lot of times I feel like I was always being very vulnerable with people because I was scared of rejection. I was scared of not them not liking me. I was scared of them, I was trying to win that person. I said that a little earlier. I was trying to win him. I was trying to win him over by being open, being vulnerable, making him see me being authentically me because I pride myself in being myself 100% of the time. And so I always felt like, okay, if I'm not being myself, if I'm not being who I am, how is he going to actually like me? Why am I building this persona and this facade to him when I'm not just being 100% of who I am? You know, so I found myself being very vulnerable, very like trying to, and not just with him, but like I think in the past relationships with guys, like I try to be very who I am to people. And a lot of times, I've also seen myself changing myself because I'm like, oh, this person didn't like me. So maybe I need to change who I am a little bit or be a little different to get people to like me, or to be attracted to me, or want to build a relationship with me. And sometimes it's also not always myself. Um, it could be them too. It's just me wanting them, and that's the toxic part, because it's like sometimes you gotta know when to let go, and that's the part that I seem to always get over, is like learning when to let go. You know, um, and that's the thing that I think um, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't like deal with. I mean, well, they deal with it, but you know what I mean. A lot of they don't work through that. They don't work on that. Um, but I feel like being vulnerable is good, but I feel like learning to be more vulnerable with yourself is also better. Um, because I feel like when you're being vulnerable with yourself, you're protecting yourself from shit. And I feel like that's what I didn't do. I was so into all the things that I felt like he can bring to me, and he really couldn't. At this point, um, I just couldn't. I just nah, like nah, like I realized like he can't really bring me shit that I really wanted. Like he was just a really horrible person, and I mean, granted, he's okay. Let me re-say that, because I don't think he's a horrible person. I think he had really horrible habits. He had horrible things that he does that makes him a horrible person. Overall, big-hearted guy, really smart, funny, attractive, but like has a horrible attitude about things. Just has some horrible habits again about how he conducts himself, and yeah, just definitely just like I really missed the bullet on that. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Like, yeah. But yeah, vulnerability. Let's get really back to vulnerability before I really get this, like, make this podcast a really like personal podcast, because I don't really want to do that either. But um, what else I want to say? I feel that also oversharing too is really bad when it comes to vulnerability. Like sometimes you know you cause a emotional dependency on your partner. Like you put all your shit on your partner to like pretty much work through your shit. Like yes, you can talk to your partner about things and say certain things, and but like find a friend to talk to. Find, like, yes, your partner is your friend too, but like find a friend to talk to, because your partner also probably have issues too. Your partner probably, like, I think that when people don't realize that sometimes when we trauma dump on people, it really sucks. But I feel that when we trauma dump, I'm gonna say that again. When we trauma dump on people, I feel like people realize how bad it sucks. Especially when you're going through your own shit and you're trying to be like, because I'm that friend when I'm going through my own shit, I'm still trying to help my other friends, and they don't realize that I also have issues too. So that's why, you know, when it comes to partnership, I feel like there needs to be some moral support, and also realize that your partner also has a life outside of just the relationship with you. Like even though you guys are building a life together, they also have a relationship, they have a life outside of you, and they have their own wants and needs. They're their own person as well. They're an individual as well, and they have problems and things too, and they may need your support too. So there needs to be like that mutual sharing and support of emotion. So just realize that, like, don't 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 do it so much that it's overbearing and it causes like an imbalance in the relationship. And look at me sitting over here spitting fire like I'm not. But not for real, I see that so much. Also ignoring boundaries. I think that sometimes being vulnerable with your partner can kind of like dis discard your own boundaries too. Like there's just some like just like certain things that you shouldn't probably do. You know, and then your partner's boundaries. Like your partner still have boundaries. Like I feel like for some reason people get in relationships and they think that you know there's no such things as boundaries anymore, and everybody has standards and boundaries to me. So you know I always check what a person's boundaries are, you know, to see if like, okay, well, hmm, your boundaries are this. Okay, cool. Understandable. I have mine too. This is what it is. Can we work together on that? Because if we can't compromise or if we can't, coexist in our own boundaries, then we just aren't gonna be anything. So so but I think a lot of the shit too is just like, being self-aware of those things. Like I just feel like when it comes to boundaries, we really don't think about that, you know. But, I also think that vulnerability is so great because it makes you connect to your partner on a spiritual level. Yes, I'm gonna go deep. I want to be vulnerable with my partner. I'm vulnerable as already as is. If most people know me through social media, they know I talk about a lot of my life stories. I just talked about the dude I was dating on here. I'm surface level vulnerable. I like to say I am surface level when it comes to being vulnerable on social media. I don't tell y'all all the things that that I'm going through, or the things that I'm thinking, but I'm a vulnerable person and I'm very vulnerable with my friends. Like my friends, and not all of them. There's some who I'm very vulnerable with, and there's some who I'm just like, I don't trust you just yet, but there's a wave. But then there's just some that I'm just like, bro, like I'm extremely vulnerable with some of my friends. I think vulnerability makes you feel good. It makes you feel raw. And I like being honest with people. I like sharing what's going on in my head and my mind. Um, I like talking to my friends and having conversations. And I think that sometimes I love having deep conversations because I like to know the person that I'm friends with. I like to know what's going on in their mind, what they're thinking, what's going on. And it also gives me a sense of who they are when I get that deep, vulnerable conversation with them about certain things. That's why I love talking about topics like that are really deep, because then I can kind of get to know that person and understand what's going on in their mind. You know, um, I think embracing vulnerability kind of helps you, navigate your own journey. Um, I think being self-aware, understanding your emotions, communicating openly with your partner, your friends, your family, setting boundaries while remaining like open, um, those are things that I feel like that's why vulnerability, it helps you grow as a person, as an individual, I personally think. So that's why I embrace being vulnerable. I embrace the act of being vulnerable with people, and also being self-aware and what's the word? Having like a damn, this word is gonna get on my. If I don't say this shit, I'm gonna sit here for 5 minutes and think about the word, and I know that's what I'm going to do. Having the I said self-aware, but there's another word. The domain awareness, having domain awareness of, there you go, having domain awareness of like who you can be vulnerable with, having that domain awareness of who you can be vulnerable with. For real, that is very important, because you cannot be vulnerable with everybody, because some people will really take that as a sign of weakness and they will punch you in the gut. So don't be vulnerable with everybody. Don't just tell all your shit to everybody. Really make sure this is a person that you can trust and that you care about, and they're not going to go back and say anything about what's going on, because that's very, 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 very important. Okay, so um, now, while like I said, you know, clinginess and vulnerability, they often kind of get mistaken for each other sometimes. It's important to strike a balance. Being too vulnerable or clingy can have its drawbacks. Let's discuss like how to avoid these pitfalls. Recognize that there is a difference between clinginess and unhealthy and not unhealthy, but healthy vulnerableness. Okay. Um, I think that clinginess often stems from like a need of reinsurance. I need you to tell me that I look good. I need you to tell me that I'm great. I need you to tell me I'm funny. I need you to tell me that I look like this. I need you to tell me this. So that's where clinginess comes from. Because even the dude that I was dating, like, wow, he's telling people that I was being clingy to him. He was being clingy to me because he was always looking for reinsurance from me. He was, uh, going through his little relationship qualms, and he always, like, I feel like, was looking for that need to say, "Oh, you look good today. You look great. Oh, you're strong, babe. Oh, you." Yeah, he was always looking for that, and I gave it to him too. I always told him, like, and he is beautiful. He's not ugly. He's still a beautiful man to me. Like, I think he's attractive as fuck. Um, but like, I noticed that was one of the things that he was also clingy. He also needed that reassurance that he was a good person. He was a good man. Even though he was doing shitty things, he needed that reassurance that he was a good man. He was doing good things. Um, yeah. So, know that there is a difference is very important. Also understanding the importance of, self-awareness and pacing when sharing, personal details about yourself to people. Like, I feel like I made a mistake with telling him so much personal things about me. I should have took my time and allowed that shit to develop, and that's a lesson that I've learned too. Just, I'm very open. I'm too open sometimes. And so that's one of the things that I realize is that, like, I need to make sure that now that when I'm talking to somebody about something, that I pace myself on information that's given to them, because that shit is a drawback. So, um, yeah, just learning to pace yourself on, as the relationship develops, learn to pace yourself on talking to people about certain things like that. So that's just, to me, what I think about when it comes to that. Also, maintaining like independence and respecting boundaries in a relationship, I think it's important too. I think that sometimes we rely too much on other people and not rely enough on ourselves. Like, it's okay to have a support person, but like, you wake up just like that other person. Like, get yourself in motion, bitch. Make some movement. Get motivated. Find yourself to get motivated for yourself. That's one of the things that my mentor always told me, is that if I don't care how much I believe in you, the moment that you stop believing in yourself, Dre, you're not gonna go nowhere. He told me that all to, like, shout out to Anthony Sambothi. This is Anthony Sambothi, my trainer, or my friend, my mentor. You know, he is the person who told me that, is like, the moment I stop believing in you, or the moment you stop believing in yourself, you're not going nowhere. I can believe in you all I want. I can believe that you're gonna do everything in the world. I can have all this belief in you. The moment you don't believe in yourself, you're not going nowhere. And that's just a true thing. So, I feel like there needs to be that balance of, like, yes, I have the support, but I have to also believe in myself. So that's just to me. Um, but yeah, enough of rambling today. I told you that the show was gonna be short because it's hot in this motherfucking room, girl. these these ring lights. These motherfucking ring lights, bitch, is burning me up. So, as we wrap up today, let's recap a little bit the main points that we discussed today. If this is something new for y'all, okay, so remember, vulnerability is about being open and authentic, but it's also about finding balance. Okay, embrace vulnerability in a way that strengthens your um, relationships and allows you to grow. Yes, I read that. That is my note. All right, y'all. I just want to say thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing, and supporting my show. I really do appreciate you guys. Um, I've really been trying to do some shit with my YouTube stuff. I got a new show that I'm going to be reviewing probably next week. I've been doing notes on it. So I don't want to reveal what show it is. I'm probably going to do like a little trailer for it first and then let you guys know exactly what it is. But yeah, I'm loving this YouTube stuff. I really do like love the support that you guys are showing me. I really do love it. Um, But make sure you guys subscribe. Please make sure you subscribe and please share my page. Also follow me on Instagram, which is Bubba's Banter Podcast. Also follow me on The Real Doc Dre, and follow my Facebook page. Follow me up on all my streaming platforms. Make sure you go get those bearskin underwear. Also the swimwear. It's still summer, y'all. It's hot as fuck. So go get you some swimwear so you can get in the pool or hit the river and look cute, okay? Use my promo code Bubba and you will get 15% off in the checkout order, all right? All right, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.